Afternoon, fight fans. This is episode 1 of Jay's Fight Talk Picks, which will be a weekly pick show, prediction show, where I'll go head to head with my guest. First week's guest had to be one of the lads from the No Punches Pulled. We've got my guest Sam Walker from SW Fight Up, my co-host on No Punches Pulled. How we doing, brother?
Mate, kid at Christmas. You picked me on a good day.
Woo! Super excited for the fight card. So, what we're going to do then, we're just going to give our predictions, basically. Winner and method of victory. And we'll go 10 points for getting it bang on, 5 points if you just call the winner. Yes, Liam, that's our
Big up, Liam Tully.
third wheel. Our other co-host is unfortunately double booked, so can't be with us this afternoon. He might join us at some point this evening. I'm not sure if he's allowed, but yeah, he's with us in spirit. We've got him here.
He's with us in spirit.
He'll be repping his No Punches Pulled merch that he got freshly in the post this morning. We just got to get some over the water to Sam next. So yeah, we're just going to pick the 6 fights from tonight's main card. We're going to go for a winner and a method of victory, and then we'll probably chat about it tomorrow. I think I've got Liam Tully on next week, and then I'll have a different guest on each week. And then at the end of the year, we'll see what the points tally is, and there'll be some form of prize in it for somebody. I'm not sure what it is yet, but there'll be something. So let's start at the beginning. We've got Chamberlain. What are you thinking?
Yeah, well, you know, Turkey's favourite fighter is not going to get beat, is he? Let's
I'm surprised
be honest.
he's not co-main, to be fair.
He's Turkey's favourite fighter, and he's got turkey teeth. Mark Chamberlain.
He's had them done quick because he didn't have them last time I saw him.
And he's got an absolutely unbelievable spray tan as well.
And he's gone full Brendan Rodgers when he got the Liverpool job, hasn't he?
Oh, he has, mate. Yeah, no, honestly, we had a good debate on it on the show in the week. Yes, what's Jam say? Big up Sam, you're worried for the year watch along. Love you, Jam. Thanks very much for tuning in, mate.
Honest to God, I set my alarm and slept through it, and Sam was up, down. If there's a fight, he's watching, mate.
Oh, 100%. And big up, Jam, for keeping me going through that. My friend, you and a couple of others were right with me there for it. So I do appreciate that, Jam. A meal for the housewife's favourite cracking prize, if you ask me.
I mean, the wives might want to win the prize. I'm not sure if the misters will want to go for a meal with the housewife's favourite, but you know.
Hey, you never know, mate. You never know. Chamberlain against Padley. We had a debate on it on No Punches Pulled in the week. You and Liam, I think, were on a different side of the fence than what I was. I think Mark Chamberlain is going to show levels over Josh Padley in this fight tonight. I know Padley talked a good game in the week. Yeah. You know, he stuck it right on Chamberlain. The weigh-in was a little bit feisty at the press conference. He's growing into the week, hasn't he, Josh Padley? You know, it looked a little bit, it's all foreign to him. He's been on the small halls and so on and so forth. He's got his big opportunities. He's an undefeated fighter, so you have to bear all these things in mind, definitely. But, you know, for me, it's just a case of it's a bit harsh on Padley for me to say it's a warm-up fight before Dennis Branchik for the WBO lightweight belt for Mark Chamberlain. But I don't see him causing Mark Chamberlain any problems in this fight, mate, if I'm being honest.
I mean, yeah, I have seen, same as you, I've sort of seen him grow into fight week. He looked like sort of a deer caught in the headlights at the first sort of press conference. And then Padley seems to have got more confident and he's embracing the opportunity. And there was a bit of shit talk from him earlier on in the week. And, you know, I'm hoping it's not bravado and fake confidence, and I hope he don't just freeze.
He looks confident, doesn't he? He looks confident.
I mean, he has to do. He's unbeaten. So until fighters get beat or tested, that confidence has to be real. You know, he's got to believe in his ability. I'm of a similar vein to yourself now. I think he's turning up to fight, obviously. I don't think he's going to get stopped. I think Chamberlain will win on points for me. I think it'll be
Chamberlain on points, you know.
Yeah. It'll be unanimous points for me. So I've gone Chamberlain points. Is that what you're going with?
No, I'm going with Chamberlain in within 4 rounds. So KO for Mark Chamberlain. Yeah, I think he'll blow him out. I do.
Okay. I've just seen Jams missed the start. Jams, we're going to do 10 points for exact method of victory and 5 points for calling the win. It's just a bit of fun. Your missus gets a date with me. I don't know what you'll have to wait outside in the car. The housewife's favourite meal for the missus is what's on offer. I'm joking, no disrespect, men, Jams. And now I'm not sure of the running order of the card. It's changed about 4 times this week, so I'm just going to go as I've written it down. Next fight.
You'll have to get Jams on the show, mate. Jams would be a great guest for this.
I've already asked him. I think he's coming on the week after Liam.
Okay, great. I'll tell you the running order, mate. Mark Chamberlain, Ish against Josh Kelly, Kakachi Warrington, Buatsi, Hutchison, Shiraz Denny, AJ Dubois.
Yeah, it's right. And I've got it written down. So we've got the next one is Pretty Boy Josh Kelly versus the Black Panther Ishmael Davis. As you know, we've spoke about this about 5 times in the last week. I have flipped and flopped and flipped. But I'm sticking with Ishmael Davis for me. I'll let you give us your thoughts on it first, and then I'll let you know what exact method of victory I'll go for. What you thinking, brother?
Well, I have to say, myself and Liam Tully were doing the live weigh-in watch along yesterday. Ishmael Davis, look, Liam's just put it in the comments there. He looked thick on them scales yesterday.
Looks a super middleweight, doesn't
he? He looked massive. Like, he fought Troy at 154, didn't he, last time out? And obviously it's his career.
154.
I know. Like, he looked absolutely massive. The lats on him, I'm not drooling over him, contrary to what it may sound like here. But I have to say, PBK's in pretty good nick as well himself. I might drool over PBK. Yeah. He's not a bad looking fella, in fairness to him.
No, he's a good looking mofos there.
But anyway, on to the fight rather than how good looking Josh Kelly is. Look, it's a great opportunity for Ish. I'm delighted for the lad. I know you've got close ties to him, Jay, so I will be rooting for him because of that. It's always MPP forever. You know that. So anyone attached to us, Troy, Ish Davis, anybody like that will root for him. But
yeah,
I think it's going to be a hard night for him, mate. I really do. I think it's going to be tough for him. Again, similar to Josh Padley, spoke a great game all week. Looks ice cold. Looks very confident. Looks like he's meant to be there. Doesn't look like he's been overawed by the occasion.
No.
Yeah, I'm just unsure. But at the same time, go out there and stick it on Josh Kelly because
he has been.
We've seen him wilt before, haven't we? Against Avanissian, we've seen him look. He's had the draw against Ray Robinson. If he lets Kelly get in his rhythm, mate,
it's over.
It's gone. If he lets Kelly box in the first
he'll
3, 4, 5 rounds, get on the inside, give him a few elbows, just rough him up, make him uncomfortable. If he can do that, then he's got a chance for me. But let Kelly in that rhythm, it's gone.
Okay. So what who's your pick and what's your method of...
I've got Kelly winning a UD. I've got a wide points decision for Josh Kelly. I hope I'm wrong.
Unanimous decision. Okay, I hope you're wrong as well. I initially, we know that as soon as the fight were made, I wouldn't say I said it were a mismatch, but I just didn't think that it was the right fight for Davis. I just thought Kelly was all wrong for him in terms of boxing ability and be able to sort of maneuver his way around a wide point. After listening to them both, seeing that Ishmael came with the absolute fire at the press conference and Josh Kelly looked not uncomfortable, but I don't believe he expected Ishmael Davis to sort of be as aggressive as he was. And I don't mean physically aggressive, but the way he was talking, he was very dismissive of what Josh Kelly had to come at. Now, I don't think he's daft enough to actually believe that Josh Kelly can't hurt him and outbox him. He's not that daft. He's boxed at a decent level. Both of them's best wins is the same person, Troy Williamson. They both got a unanimous points decision. I think Josh Kelly had an easier night's work.
He did.
That. It was a wider points victory for
he
Josh.
Stung Troy a couple of times.
Kelly did. But you're not stopping Troy as he said he had done at the press conference. I think it were more of a mishmash of words. I don't think he actually...
Yeah, he meant to say like he beat the life out of Troy. He said I finished him, but...
I think that's what he meant in terms of his finish, but not as a stoppage. Me, I'm going to have to stick with my last prediction. I've gone for Ishmael Davis, round 9, TKO. I think there's going to be a culmination of punishment towards the middle of the fight, and I believe that he's going to stop him. Similar to Avanissian, towel, a mixture of towel, referee, and Josh just...
Adam Booth throws it in.
That's what I'm going with. I'm sticking with it. I'm sticking with Ishmael Davis in 9 rounds. TKO victory.
First
Right.
upset pick of the night.
Yeah. This is we're going with the next fight. Liam's picked this for his sort of upset of the night. We've got the former IBF. Was Josh Warrington the IBF
featherweight?
Yeah. And the current IBF super featherweight champion. The IBF is not on the line tonight in terms of Warrington can't win it. Kakachi can lose it, which is crackers. And the IBO, the cream of the crop belt, I think it's green, isn't it? It's like it's not the WBC green, it's sort of a darker green, isn't it? I'd have to ask Chris Eubank Jr. If you look at, Google a picture of Chris Eubank Jr., he'll have it on there in some of the photographs. But this, I think, is going to be fight of the night. You've never seen Josh.
It can't not deliver this, mate. It can't not deliver.
They're never in boring fights, are they? Either of them. Josh Warrington's proved everybody wrong numerous times. Kakachi's always in wars. He's never takes a backward step. He's coming off the biggest victory of his career as the underdog, stopping the champion in Joe Cordina. Can't not be fireworks. What are you thinking, Sam?
Yeah, so this fight is one that I was so confident in my Anthony Kakachi pick, and I put my prediction video out 5 or 6 weeks ago, and I haven't veered off from Anthony Kakachi until the last 24 hours. I'm completely moving away right now, and I'm with Liam. I'm picking Warrington as my upset for the night. I'll tell you my prediction in a minute, but I just think of any of the underdogs. I genuinely believe Josh Warrington said something yesterday. He interviewed with Sky with Johnny Nelson, and he goes, he obviously should have moved up long before he did, but he goes, them extra 4 pounds. He goes, I feel like I felt in the Lee Selby fight. I feel like I felt in the Carl Frampton fight. But he looked sensational on the scales. Kakachi, I know you think slightly different to the way me and Liam think, but I thought Kakachi did look a little bit drained at the weight. He's a big super featherweight. He's going to be a lot bigger than Josh in that ring in a couple of hours' time. So, I genuinely, I think it's nailed on that this is fight of the night. I completely agree with Liam and the rest that it's a phone box war. It really is going to be. Josh looked phenomenal. He looked really full when he weighed in for the ceremonials last night. And I believe he might have one last big performance in him. I genuinely do. Liam made a really good point about Anto's, stoppage things. I know a few people who are in the know with Anto and I know for a fact that he's 35 years old and he hasn't been fit for a fight for 7 or 8 years before Joe Cordina. He's had putrid luck with injuries, constantly injured, had issues going on. Carl Frampton gave an unbelievable interview. There's a snippet of it I saw on X yesterday with Anto Kakachi. He was delivering Chineses this time last year to make ends meet and bring money into his house to keep his food on his kids' table, essentially. Wow. Carl Frampton said that if he beats Josh Warrington later and then one more fight, which will probably be Sugar Nunes, he'll be a millionaire. So for me, that man's fighting for a whole lot tonight. Big up Hawkan, who's just joined, I can see.
Yes, Hawkan.
Delivering Chineses to make ends meet, to put food on his kids' table, to being potentially 2 fights away from being a millionaire. That's Anthony Kakachi for you.
That's the story films are made about. I've seen movies with not as dramatic storylines as that. So, how can you not like them both? I mean, Josh Warrington's from Leeds. I live 5 minutes down the road. My brother used to train under his dad, Sean. So I know him. I don't really know Josh, but I know his dad more than that. So, I know he's a nice lad outside of the ring as well. For me, I just think that Anthony Kakachi is going to be too big. I think Josh, yes, the extra weight will benefit him. I just think that we haven't seen the best of Josh Warrington for a while, and I just believe that there's a reason behind that. I think his best days are behind him. I don't believe he'll get stopped. I don't believe he'll get run through. I think it's going to be close. I think the rounds are going to be some sort of gimme rounds where, it's subjective and depends what the judges are looking for. I think Kakachi is going to get a points decision. I think it's going to be maybe 115, 113, something like that. I think it's going to be one of those fights that we will talk about for a long time. and maybe a fight that Josh Warrington can moan about a bit and say he should have got the nod, and
I really hope not after that Lee Wood fiasco last time out.
But
yeah,
though, they could do it again and give Kakachi what he needs in terms of a homecoming in Belfast against Josh Warrington. Takes 10,000 over the water from Leeds.
Well, the thing is, what happens if the belt goes vacant? Because Sugar Nunes is meant to fight for it next. So, what happens if Warrington wins and the belt goes vacant?
He'll fight Nunes for it, will he? God bless him.
Well, I don't like that for Josh Warrington. But yeah, Jan said about Liam Cameron. It's Anto's literally got a Liam Cameron story.
Yeah, definitely. Sugar Nunes, I wouldn't like that fight for the winner of Joshua and Dubois, let alone Josh Warrington.
Yeah, that man can crack.
We sat and watched his last fight, didn't we?
He's a super featherweight Beterbiev.
Yeah, he's an animal.
So
yeah, I'm going for a points victory for Kakachi. What about you, mate?
Yeah, so after giving Josh Warrington the big up a minute ago, I'm going to contradict myself straight over, and I'm going to stick with my original pick because, my mind is changing in the last 24 hours, but, I need to trust my gut instinct, and what I've told myself throughout the whole build-up is, just because Josh looks good on the scales, it's not necessarily going to transfer into the ring. I'm with you. I think Anto's going to be too big. I think he's punching hard now, and he hasn't had that many knockouts. But trust me, when it's anyone in the know, Carl Frampton, just anyone who's around that Kakachi camp, and even the Warrens, people at Queens, anybody who's anything attached to Anthony Kakachi's banged the drum for years about how good this guy is, and it's a shame that he's 35 years old and he's only really going to be coming good now, but. For me, you're going to get this war. You're going to get this fight of the night. You're going to get the one that people are going to go home and talk about later. For me, I think this is going to steal the show. I think Anto gets rid of him in 6 rounds. I do. I'm picking a Kakachi KO. But don't be surprised if Warrington can hurt Kakachi, later. Don't be surprised if he can. Josh Warrington's power's underrated.
Yeah,
Carl Frampton wouldn't say that he's the hardest puncher he's been in with lightly. Carl Frampton's a straight-up shooter. He doesn't...
Carl Frampton never got himself back. Once he got hurt by Josh Warrington, he was done. That fight was finished.
Remember, Josh Warrington is about it. He will go down. He went over to Manchester Arena against Frampton, Belfast versus Leeds, and Carl Frampton was still in his heyday, just beating Nito Donaire, I think,
was the man.
And stood in the centre of the ring, and he outmanned Carl Frampton. He completely outmanned him and started swinging for the rafters.
I mean, he outboxed Lee Selby. Lee Selby at the time was one of the main guys in that division.
Yeah, he was. Selby was a huge favourite.
Yeah, I had him. I bet against him in both of those fights. I'd sort of dismissed him against Frampton. I thought there's a chance against Selby because he's fast. Thought he's not going to outman and outmuscle Carl Frampton.
Well, he was a small hauler himself, wasn't he, Warrington? He was on the small horse for ages, and then was it not Dennis Hobson that was doing it with him? And
I think he has boxed under Dennis Hobson. By the time he went to
Hearn signed him early enough, didn't he? But
won it Hearn. Was it Hearn or Warren that he turned?
No, he started with Hearn, then went to Warren. Now he's back with Hearn, I think.
But I think he was like 17, 18, 19 and 0 by the time Hearn got hold of him.
He was. Do
you know what I mean? But fan favourite, as you say, we can expect fireworks. It's not going to be a boring fight. So Sam's gone for Kakachi, 6-round TKO, yeah? Yeah. Okay. That's that one, and I've gone for points. Right then. This one, I watched the face-off at the weigh-in about 30 minutes ago. And out of them all, this one made the hairs on the back of my neck stand up. I got really tingly when they went.
Buatsi Hutchison.
Yeah. Buatsi's fuming. Absolutely fuming.
He's rattled. I think he's rattled.
I do. I didn't think he were at first. I thought he would just...
It's bad news that you can't fight emotionally against Willie Hutchinson.
No, he's too much of a sharpshooter for you to not be on point. You've got to mind your P's and Q's because he'll catch you. He's a very slick boxer. Very, very good amateur pedigree. Obviously, Buatsi has the better amateur pedigree. Joshua Buatsi's sort of flattered to deceive. I think I called him elite last night, and you guys called me out on it because he hasn't done anything to prove that in the pro game, and you were right in saying that. I'm just going off his pedigree, but pedigree. I mean, Josh Kelly that we've just spoke about a couple of fights ago, he was an Olympian, and it doesn't necessarily look at Audley Harrison, for example. absolutely useless in the pro game, but an Olympic gold medalist, and dined out on that for his entire career. Got some big fights and some big paydays. Buatsi has to step up this evening. If he loses this fight, it is devastating for
That's
his
catastrophic for his career if he loses
for his
fight.
brand. It's where does he go? It's there's I mean, I'm not saying he should retire if he loses tonight, but it'll be a big dent to his brand and his ego. Because he has to start as the favourite for me. Certainly for me, he's the favourite. I don't know how you feel about that. Do you think he's the favourite, Sam?
Yeah, I think he's a big favourite.
Yeah. What are you going for then in terms of victor and method of victory?
Yeah, this is one I haven't deviated from at all, and I could eat my words at the end of it. Think Willie looked great against Spider on the 5 versus 5 in June. But let's be fair, Craig Richards didn't throw the right hand till about the 10th round.
Didn't turn up. It looked like
he didn't turn up. Craig Richards, he looked poor. No doubt Willie Hutchinson looks better at 175 pounds. He got sparked out by Lennox Clark at 168. He looked pretty drained at the weight, to be honest with you. He looks better. But realistically, what we basing Willie Hutchinson on, a good win over a faded and, gun-shy Craig Richards.
He's not done much else, has he? No disrespect.
Well, let's be honest. And I'm not going to lie, Joshua Buatsi hasn't exactly set the world alight in his last few fights. He hasn't had a stoppage win in 3 years. He hasn't
set the world alight full stop for me.
Well, exactly. And he hasn't been overly active or anything like that. If anything, his career's regressed since going back over to Sky Sports but signing with Boxer. But this is your stage now, Joshua Buatsi. This is it tonight. You're fighting at the National Stadium in front of 96,000 people. Forget what's happened in the last 3-4 years. Forget that you've stayed at a certain level over the last however many years. He can right every wrong that's happened in the last few years with a big performance tonight. And I think he delivers it. I honestly do. I think Joshua Buatsi is going to go out and deliver a big performance, and I think he's gonna stop Willie Hutchinson in 8 rounds.
Ooh, guess what I've gone for? So you've gone for Buatsi 8. I've gone for Buatsi 7.
Okay.
So we're on a similar kind of vein there. Liam's saying that, obviously, I'm assuming this is on Willie Hutchinson. His mouth is making people think he has more of a chance than he deserves. I think you could be right there. I mean, a lot of people, I had people at work talking about Willie Hutchinson saying that he must be at a fight, and I think he's going to do this and he's going to do that. And I'm like, based on what?
To be fair, he might just be geeing himself up, and it worked against Richards, so maybe he's trying the same tactic. I don't know.
If he's expecting Joshua Buatsi to be similar to Craig Richards, then he's going to come unstuck pretty quick. Yeah. Joshua Buatsi is considerably better than Craig Spider Richards on his day, allegedly. We haven't really seen him look spectacular unless he's fighting sort of journeymen. Tonight's the night. It's a test for both of them. We will see tonight who is world class, because they're both sort of at the cusp of being on that next, world title challenging. I think they're boxing for the WBA interim tonight, are they?
WBO interim, yeah. So the winners lined up for
the number one contender, basically. That fight won't happen though. They won't get the winner of that fight next. The winner of that fight, I think they'll rematch anyway. I think Better Be Evan Bivol's going to be tied up with each other for the next 18 months. I think.
Yeah, there's a rematch clause. I think two-sided.
So no one's fighting them unless Canelo steps in and someone gets 10 million sidestep money, and But I don't think Hutchinson or Buatsi winning tonight guarantees them a fight within the next couple of years against either of them. So yeah, we've both gone for a similar result. We've both gone for Buatsi. I've gone for round 7. Sam's gone for round 8. I'm really excited for this one.
Can't wait.
Okay, so we're up to the co-main event. The co-main event sees Hamza Shiraz challenging for the European title against the champion. Now, this is a Cinderella story against Tyler Denny. Anybody that dislikes Tyler Denny, have a word with yourself. He's one of the most unassuming, humble people I've ever seen. I've never met the kid. I'm only going on what I see on TV. Never knocks back interviews. He's got time for everybody. He looks really happy to be in this spot. Considering a couple of years ago, I think he was a working bin man living in a 1-bedroom flat with his missus and kids. Very similar to Kakachi. I think if he has a good night tonight, it is potential. I mean, he's had a couple of massive fights anyway, so I'd like to think that he's out of his one-bedroom
I'm kind of,
and he's not working the bins anymore unless he wants
that's
to.
it. Hawkins just giving us a 1 hour warning to fight night. Let's go, Hawkins. Yeah, absolutely. I love Tyler Denny. Obviously, he's from my neck of the woods where I'm born and raised. So big up Tyler Denny for that, putting the West Midlands on the map. But you know, like you say with the Kakachi story, it's the same thing. I also can't help but root for a huge underdog, and I'm also rooting for him a little bit for the Ben Shalom thing as well. I just can't help it. I just love the storylines.
Did you see Ben with his shades on
yeah.
when he weighed in? My guy, that's my guy.
Yeah, I'm a big storyline guy. I'd throw a real spanner in the works to everything. If Tyler Denny can beat Hamza Shiraz tonight, it would just derail Turkey's plans, Riyadh season, you know, Frank Warren.
I mean, Shiraz is the face of Riyadh season.
He's Turkey's he's Turkey's real favourite. It's not Mark Chamberlain, it's Hamza Shiraz.
Oh yeah, without a shadow of a doubt. I'd love to see the purses to see what Shiraz is actually getting.
Well, I heard Janabek turned down over $1 million to fight Hamza on this card, and he's fighting in Australia for 200K against Mikhailovic.
Wow. You ever need anyone to step in, Turkey? I'll do it for a lot less than that. A lot less. Right, what you going for then? Method of victory and Victor. Who have you got? Shiraz and Denny.
Right, so Austin Ammo Williams had success early against Hamza Shiraz in the 5 versus 5 last time out. He stopped Liam Williams in a round before that. So there's no real data to say that he's a slow start or anything like that. I worry about it's just that jab that Shiraz has got, man. He's left hand.
Massive.
Mate, and Tyler has fought bigger guys before, definitely. That
not like this.
But not the size of Hamza. And you know what people need to know about Hamza Shiraz as well is he's a left-handed orthodox. That left-handed jab it's his strong hand. That jab, it'll knock you out with that jab. Liam Williams, look at the Liam Williams thing.
Yeah,
you know, I had him on skates from jabs.
Yeah,
you know, it's going to be a tough night for Tyler, and I worry about his pop, mate. He's only 1 KO. You know, is he going to catch Hamza Shiraz cold or what? No. Is he going to navigate his way through 12 rounds without getting caught? For me, no. As much as I really want Tyler Denny to win, I do, and you know, don't like to be overly biased, but I'd love nothing more for the kid to win. Howard said Tyler Denny is one of favourite boxers in the UK. Bumped into him a few times at ringside at Boxer Fight Nice. Top man. Hawk couldn't agree more. Absolutely
lovely bloke by all accounts. He's up against it tonight.
He's badly up against it tonight in Hamza Shiraz. It's a tough fight. I commend him for taking it straight off the back of the Felix Cash fight when Eubank lost his pen again.
Yeah. Only Christopher, if you ever need to borrow it, mate.
I think Tyler's tough. I think Hamza's gonna do what he did similar to Austin Ammo Williams. I think he's gonna stop him late. I've got a 10th round stoppage for Hamza Shiraz.
10th. Well, I've gone for I didn't want to because I'm similar to yourself. I want Denny to win. I'd love nothing more. And I've got nothing against Hamza Shiraz. I just believe that a defeat for Hamza Shiraz at this point will set him back and you know, burst that air of invincibility bubble. But I would love to see Tyler Denny sat ringside for main event with a black eye and a win. I'd love it. Do you know what I mean? Just for him, just the underdog story. Who don't love it? If you don't love an underdog story, then there's something wrong with you.
You're watching the wrong sport.
Unfortunately, I'm going with what the eye test, and like you said, not the lack of power, but the lack of stoppages from Tyler Denny, and the fact that Hamza Shiraz has not shown me anything that would make me think he can lose this fight. Really, if it goes to script, I've gone for Shiraz in 9. I've gone for a TKO in the 9th. So again, like the Buatsi Hutchinson, me and you are very similar in what we think how the fights will play out. But I will reiterate that I would be over the moon if Tyler Denny pulls it off tonight, because I think that would be the biggest shock of the card in terms of him being an underdog. I think him and Denny and Warrington are both sort of on a similar page in terms of people backing against them. That would be another big shock, I think, if Tyler Denny goes out there and pulls it off. But may the best man win.
Yeah, 100%.
I think that's it for fights. I don't think there's any fights after that, is there?
The main
Saturday
event.
night done. Do we finish after? Oh no, there's two big lads going to sling it out. I think we're Anthony Joshua and Daniel Dubois. The fight, the main event.
It's going to be carnage, isn't it? It's going to be carnage.
Do you know what I did notice last night? Because I've never seen him face to face, really. Joshua's a lot bigger than Dubois, isn't he? I thought Dubois was sort of a similar size.
Do you know what? Someone was saying it, and it was a really valid point. One of the podcasts that I was listening to, that Joshua is an athlete, like a trained athlete, and he's built himself up. You know, when he turned over from the amateurs, when he won the Olympic gold medal, he was still muscular and stuff like that, but he's very skinny. Like Daniel Dubois is naturally big. You know, Joshua's trained himself to get that big. Daniel Dubois is just big. He was that big when he was 18, 19, when he turned pro.
His dad, have you seen his dad? His dad's a lump. His dad's a lump.
So it's natural for Daniel Dubois. AJ's manufactured himself to get himself to that kind of, you know, size and power and all that.
What are you thinking?
But yeah, you know, for me, it's the longer the fight goes on, and it might contradict in my pick, I do think it favors Daniel Dubois. I honestly do. I think early on in the fight, Dubois is going to have to be so careful when AJ's full of energy and his speed is there. And, you know, I know a lot's been made of the right hand. I don't think this right hand narrative is as bad as people are saying. I've seen so many picks online for AJ to get rid of him early, and I honestly just don't see the fight that way at all. But it's obviously a possibility. You know, at the end of the day, you know, they both got great jabs, but Daniel Dubois' jab is such a key weapon for him. It really is. It's incredibly underrated, and his engine's great too. You know, you can see he stop people late in fights. Look at Jarrell Miller when he came through a bit of trouble earlier in the fight and stuff like that. You know, I'm going to tell you in a minute that I've backed every favorite on the card for the show, but let me tell you here and now, if you want an underdog pick, Daniel Dubois is your underdog pick. He has every chance in this fight against AJ. I've not seen many people at all pick Dubois, and I'm contradicting myself again because I'm going to pick Anthony Joshua to win the fight in a second. But Daniel Dubois is in this fight. Like I'd be very surprised if Anthony Joshua wins in 2 rounds or something like that.
Me too.
It would surprise me. I think it'll be cagey, for the first couple of rounds. I honestly think that, and I think Joshua will be wary of Dubois for a couple of rounds too. The only concern I have for Dubois is the speed advantage for Joshua. You know, that is glaring. I think power-wise, you know, if either of them connect, they're both gone. Let's be honest. If either of them connect flush, they're both gone. I think Dubois' jab is a real key weapon in this fight for him. You know, his mental fortitude. The form is with Daniel Dubois. He's just beat Jarrell Miller and Filip Hrgović. He hasn't just beat Otto Wallin and Francis Ngannou. He's beat 2 legit top heavyweights. As much as people want to put them down after Dubois beat them, you know, Miller just put in a good performance against Ruiz, and Filip Hrgović was the next coming until he lost to Dubois, everyone was saying. And if you beat Dubois, everyone would have had this fight with AJ 50-50 with Hrgović. So, you know,
it was the man. It was the second coming.
Yeah, it just shows you how fickle everybody is. But yeah, I genuinely think Daniel Dubois is a big factor in this fight. I honestly do. And I think Joshua will get rid of him in 8 or 9 rounds, and it contradicts my thing to say that the fight suits Dubois as it goes on, because I do believe that as well. But when Dubois is coming on strong, that's when I feel like he might get caught. I honestly think. And I think Joshua may have to climb off the floor to beat him. I honestly
think there's going to be knockdowns,
I think Joshua's going to have... the way I see the fight, I think it's going to be really cagey and edgy early on. And everyone's saying Joshua will knock him out early, which I don't see, but it might happen. Who knows? But I think it'd be cagey early on. Then I think Joshua's going to have the first, you know, significant moment, should we say. Then I think Dubois will gut it out for a bit, and he'll have a moment on Joshua. And then just as I think Dubois taking over and getting in his groove, I think he might lose some concentration along the way or something like that. And he might not be able to recover. That's what I see. I think Dubois will be really switched on early, be really wary of the right hand that Don Charles and Kieran Farrell will be drilling. It's not like because Hrgović was nailing with the right hand, they're going to have drilled that all camp. It's not going to be as simple as, you know, he's going to be looking out for that early. But when the engine's tired and when he's had a bit of success and he might get drunk on his success a little bit, that's when I think the openings might be there. But telling you here and now, like, to hear people say it's an 80-20 fight in favour for Joshua, 75-25, I genuinely see it as a 60-40 in favour of Joshua. I genuinely think Dubois is live in the fight. I honestly do.
Yeah, I've picked Dubois. I have to stick by it. I said it last night. I'm letting my balls swing. Damn, man, are hanging. They're out. It's Daniel Dubois, round 3, TKO.
Ooh.
I've bet it, mate. I've backed it. No mortgage payment next month, mate. We're out on the street eating beans on toast, mate. I'm joking. I am joking. I'm not a massive gambler. Bet responsibly or don't bet at all. But I'm going for Daniel Dubois, TKO, round 3. What's yours? 8 or 9?
Give me 9, Joshua.
AJ, TKO, round 9. So there you have it, fight fans. The first Jay's fight picks in the bag.
I'll big up Ryan for joining us. Sorry, Jay. Ryan's just coming
on. Ryan's coming on next couple of weeks.
Oh, good. That'd be great.
Yeah, he's coming on. I spoke to him last night.
Brilliant. Massive shout out, Ryan. Great lad.
I've got 3 or 4 of our Fight Sports family lined up. We're going to keep this Jay's fight picks rolling. Liam has Liam's fight night picks over on Steve Talk Boxing X as well. I think that's on a Tuesday. I want to say, is it Tuesdays? No, Wednesday.
It drops on a Wednesday.
Drops on a Wednesday. So keep your eyes peeled for that over on SBTX. Liam Tully's weekly predictions show, and then obviously this is going to be weekly live. We've gone with Saturday sort of afternoons, but it might chop and change just depending on people's movements and dials and stuff. But
I think they both climb off the canvas, Ryan. I think Dubois and AJ are both touching down tonight.
I think similar, but I think Dubois is going to get wobbled straight away. I think he's going to get wobbled straight away first round. I think it's going to look like it's over. And then I think similar to what you said, but the opposite way around. I think AJ, it doesn't matter when people say it, but is this devastating finisher. Yeah, if I've got someone wobbling all over, I can look pretty good smacking him in the mouth as well. But I think that's going to be his undoing. I think he
is vulnerable, AJ. When he's got someone hurt, he's definitely vulnerable.
Dillian White, do you remember? He had
Dillian White, Klitschko, and Andy Ruiz. You know, he's had them all hurt, and that's when he's got hurt himself.
He's no good at gunslinging when they're slinging back. He's really good when they're covering up and the wobbling.
That's the time to get him.
That I think he's going to hurt Dubois. Dubois is going to settle back into it in the second. I think he's going to think he's hurt him again in the third, and he's going to walk onto one, and I cannot see him recovering. So, yeah, AJ will be finished on one knee. So that's him touching the canvas.
No mass.
You heard
no
it.
No mass, AJ.
First. No mass, AJ.
Yeah. Well, thanks for having me on, Jay. Just anyone who's with us, myself and Jay will be over on SW Fight Hub. We're going to go live from around about 6 p.m. So probably the start of Warrington Kakachi. We'll do Kakachi Warrington. We'll do Buatsi Hutchinson, and we'll do Tyler Denny Shiraz. Then we'll have a little break. Then we'll do a new link for Joshua versus Dubois. So we've got a big stretch tonight, probably a 4-hour stretch. We're going to go play-by-play on all the fights. Cannot wait.
Come and join us. We want to see you all interacting. We're really looking forward to it. You can all message me tomorrow and tell me how much money you've all won with my predictions, and I'll laugh at Sam for getting them all wrong. To be fair, your predictions have been on point last couple of weeks. You've pulled some out of there.
I got Munguia right in the late rounds last night. What else did I get?
Probably just that.
That'll do me.
Yeah, that'll do. He's dining out on that one. But I think, thanks for joining us, everybody. As always, like, comment, share, and subscribe to SW Fight Hub. We have No Punches Pulled every week. Join us tonight live on SW Fight Hub from about 6 p.m. for a live watch along. Thanks to everybody that's joined in and interacted with us and commented. Liam, enjoy your show, mate. We will enjoy the boxing. We will see you all in a little while.
Cheers, mate.